drinking in the AM's a sin. Old Cracker's just hanging with his old friend. Beer for breakfast, what I said. Beer for breakfast, make it two. Pop that top, pop that top, pop that top again. Pop that top, pop that top, pop that top again.
Will get you laid.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Beer for Breakfast Morning Show with the Lake Placid legend, Toolman Tim, and me, the obscure Ron, and I like to keep it that way. We're coming to you live and local from the Obscure Destinations Studios in Lake Placid, Florida.
Come and get it!
No, not that Lake Placid. Stick around, have fun, laugh while you can, and remember to like and subscribe and tell your friends about us.
C is available for your needs 7 days a week. Grandson Services, LLC. Garbage pickup. House appliances. Furniture removal. Yard debris. Estate cleanouts. Storage cleanouts. Sheds removal. Decks removal. Above-the-ground pools removal. Jacuzzi removal. Construction debris. Deliveries. Call them today. 786-865-1805 or 305-741-1240. Our goal is to make our beautiful Lake Placid a cleaner place. And remember, 100% satisfaction guaranteed or twice your trash back. By Ground Up Remodeling. Tim will take care of your needs from the ground up. Truly one of the best in Lake Placid, and we wouldn't let anyone else work on our handyman or home improvement needs. Call Tim today.
Welcome to the real world. It's Trash Talking Tuesday. I'm Ron, and I'm the obscure one, and Tim the Tool Man. No, it's Toolman Tim.
Toolman Tim
Is here to answer any of your needs or questions, but this is Trash Talking Tuesday, and we're just going to talk trash while we watch the little pretty birds.
We're going to have to name him.
Toni says that every time a cardinal shows up, it means that someone that passed away in your history is visiting you.
I know a lot of people.
Us too. Getting our age, everybody we know just about is.
I know, it's like every other week you're going,
You
somebody's
open it.
saying, oh yeah, did you hear about
Oh wait, we're a Beer for Breakfast morning show.
Oh yeah.
You go first. All right.
Yeah. Can't start your day without the proper lubrication.
That's right. I got a new camera for my birds and my squirrels. If I could just find any of it, the information. There it is. It's this is called the Vin Guys bird smart. It's called a smart bird feeder. It works really good. It's got a good camera on it. My problem is that they don't do portrait, and so much is lost in the video when it's done in landscape. But I don't like to broadcast in portrait because you can't really see it in landscape because you can't really see it well on a cell phone.
Oh, is that little skinny bar that we used to have?
Yeah, when we do it that way, yeah, that makes it that little skinny bar.
Yeah, and you can't blow that bitch up.
No, you can't. I mean, it's there, you know. I guess maybe if you turned your phone sideways, I don't know.
I've tried that, and some of them won't turn.
Yeah, and so I'm not big on that. But anyway, that's where we're at.
That's why we brought you the squirrels.
That's why we bring you. Well, I take this in and I do post production work on it and edit it all. All of these videos. This is a motion activated camera, so all these videos are between 8 seconds and 2 minutes long, and I have to put them all together so y'all get an hour and a half of happy viewing and being stared at by a beautiful little squirrel.
Otherwise, you got 5 minutes of dead space. A bird feeder.
Yeah, or you could just look at me and Tim, and I don't think anyone wants that.
No, because we don't fit on the bird feeder that well.
If they would make one big enough and put bar stools on it,
Yeah, bar stools.
and instead of birds, right? If they would make a treehouse,
put
which
some peanuts.
I have been to a treehouse bar before, but if they made a treehouse bar, me and Tim would promote it.
Hell, we'd live there.
We would promote your business too. $25 a day.
Yep, give us a call.
Give us a call or an email, or just drop your doohickey down on the whatnot.
I think that's right next to the goddamn it.
It might be. I don't know.
That's that third button from the left.
That's their button from the left. I don't know where I picked up. I picked up so many dumb sayings from the military, man. I can't even think straight sometimes.
Yesterday, when you went inside to fill your coffee cup, it was coming to the end of the show. It was playing the final thing. Now, when I worked with the radio station, the DJ that was at the time, he would say, all right, when this song ends, he said, just slide this up and punch this button. It'll put this group of 3 commercials on. He says, and if that don't work, slide the next one up, punch this button. It'll play another song. And he said, if that don't work, press this button and just start talking. Well, the just start talking only happened to me a couple of times. But I'll tell you, when you're not ready for it, you just sit there going, go.
Yeah, it does come at you with nothing.
You're like, what do I talk about? Who the hell am I talking to?
That's why I hate to do these by myself.
That's the hardest thing in radio to get used to. Is there's no one in the room.
You're talking to yourself.
You're talking to yourself, but you got to act like you're talking to the people.
Everybody that's listening.
Right.
You know, it's almost like when politicians go and they do a speech, they always look directly at someone in the audience and then another person, and they point at them.
Right, because it gives them a focus.
Because it makes them think that, you know, everyone in that one little quadrant is going, he's looking at me, he's talking to me, and he's like, I'm looking over there at the naked girl that's over there lifting her shirt up.
Yeah.
That
girl just threw a bra in the air. That's the one.
Some girl did that at a Trump event once, or actually, yeah, I think it was a Trump event. She flashed it. She was trying to get his show kicked off of CNN or whatever was doing it.
He probably had to pay $1 million.
They just flashed it out and sent her on her way.
Oh, did you see they're getting rid of all the charges against him?
Oh yeah, those are gone. All those. Well,
except for the payout deal that they're still holding over his head. But that's good. He didn't deserve any of that bullshit.
No, and I hope that, you know, in my old cold dried up Marine heart, I hope that he goes after every one of those people that did him wrong. But in my honest, true blooded American heart, I just hope he goes, don't do this to anybody else, because I could go after you and take everything that you got. Because that lawfare isn't good for anybody. That lawfare is what they were doing. Yeah. Is they used their power to try to take over an entire political party. Mm-hmm. And the sad thing is half of the Republicans wanted them to do it. So, I mean, there's so many backstabbers. We've got to start voting these cocksuckers out. Excuse my language.
Gotcha. But, you know, it's like, it pisses me off that the lawyers and the judges are allowing politics to influence the law. You know, it's like, they're just bringing up how many squares of paper you used to wipe his ass, and then suddenly it's a big thing and they're suing his ass for it.
It's worse than all that. All right, now imagine if you imagine, if you will, a bunch of people. I mean, go back 20 years ago before Obama was elected, and you've got 10,000 people burning down CVS's, burning down Walgreens.
Yeah, we forget about that.
Burning down tire stores that their own community built, their own people built, the people that lived there built. Yeah. And they called it the Summer of Peace. Bullshit.
They're trashing their own damn town. It's like if I burnt the building I live in just to spite myself.
Right.
It's like, how fucking dumb are you?
And my house is too close to yours. Don't try that shit.
It's got a black wall between.
Yeah, no, still. No, I just can't imagine that whole thing. Hey, Leonard. Oh, you're welcome, Leonard. He said, Leonard said, thank you. I don't know when that was. It could have been 2 days ago. But he pops up every morning and gives us a like. I don't know. I thought he was your friend, Lenny. But I guess maybe not. But,
might be.
You know, this is Trash Talking Tuesday, so we're going to say the things that we want to say, and if you don't want to hear it, then you don't have to.
Or you can bring your thoughts in.
We want you to bring your thoughts in. You think it's bad now?
Give us some more trash.
Yeah, give us some more trash. Speaking of,
And then we'll have our buddy haul it away.
right. Speaking of Trash Talking Tuesday, Grandsons LLC is a local guy who does all of this. He comes and picks up all of your trash, like if you're remodeling your house, or even if that squirrel, even if you cut down a bunch of trees and you need them hauled off. This is your guy to do it. I mean, if you watch the beginning of the show, he does really great work, and he's a very friendly guy. You should check him out. And you need to support all your Lake Placid people, Lake Placid.
Yeah, support your locals.
You got to support your local businesses.
That's why I buy my lumber and stuff right up here at W&W.
Me too.
They have 3 locations scattered locally around here, within 50 miles. And they're just our neighbors.
They're good people. W&W gives me a military discount.
Yeah. You walk in the door, they don't even know you, and they ask you if you're military, and they give you 10%.
Well, and I thought I was special.
You are.
I thought it was a Marine thing.
You're special ed.
I am special. I mean, come on. We eat crayons, for God's sake. I like the grape ones.
I can never find the grape one. I always eat the green one because that's the only one I can see.
Key lime. I got a buddy that has a radio show up in Gainesville, and he had an orange Jeep. He's a Harley Davidson guy.
Yeah.
He's also got a $50 bazillion BMW sports car, the little bitty one that's like the size of my car.
Oh, yeah. Little 2
tiny
seats.
Yeah, it's a badass, but he's got more money than sense. But his girlfriend wanted a Jeep, so he bought it, and it's lime green. And they put the thing on it, living in key lime time. And me and Toni are sure, because I told him where I live.
That's pretty cool.
And he's a friend of ours, or a friend of mine, but I told him where I live. And me and Toni are sure we saw him. Well, I'm sure. Well, we're sure because we both saw him. And I'm like, damn it, that's. And then right after I said, no, it couldn't be. And then all of a sudden, all the Harleys started driving by. And he's a Harley guy. And I'm like, yep, that's her. She's driving her Jeep and scouting out for them guys where to go. Because this is a great place to ride. There's a lot of hills here in Highlands County if you're going to be a rider.
A lot of back twisty streets.
Yeah, nice.
Go from
curves
town to
and
town.
hills. Yeah, it's beautiful here if you're going to ride your Harley.
Like old Route 8, you get back in there.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of twisty roads.
Try not to run over a gator. And they will walk across that road on 8.
Oh, God, yeah.
Old 8? Yeah, they'll walk across that road.
They're like those stupid sandhill cranes. Those 2 of them bastards were right in the street yesterday on Sun and Lakes. And I come right up. I had to hit his tail feather. And that son of a bitch wouldn't move.
Full disclosure, I love sandhill cranes. Tim just doesn't like them because they scratch his truck. And someone told him that they taste like ribeyes. I've got friends. And I had a friend tell me 15 years ago, at least 20 years ago.
Just don't get caught eating one.
No, he said, he goes, no, you got to eat those. He goes, that's ribeye in the sky. They taste like steak.
Gotcha.
And I'm like, no. And then I was talking to a friend of mine in Texas here about 5 years ago, and he goes, no, we have a hunt every year. When they're flying over, we just shoot them down out of the sky, and we have a big cookout. I said, do they really taste like steak? He goes, it tastes like ribeye in the sky. He said, it tastes good.
Yeah,
I said, well,
call them T-bones and flying T-bones.
I said, well, they told me that iguana tastes like chicken of the tree. It don't.
Chicken of the tree.
It don't taste like chicken of the tree, and it's not quite cold enough for them to start dropping out of the sky yet, but it's getting there.
Tastes more like the tree.
I haven't yet. They're not bad. They're not bad.
Yeah, enough barbecues, anything.
Hot sauce. You batter them, and it's like the same thing with the Python Cowboy. You can talk to him, and he'll give you. He won't give them to you. He sells the python when he goes and catches them and butchers them.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, he's a good guy too. Crazy son bitch.
Well, you got to be catching.
I got video.
Snakes.
I got video of him just jumping straight from his boat into the Everglades, grabbing the python coming out, and I'm like, and I told him, and it's on camera. I told him, I said, hey, the snake ain't your problem.
It's that alligator.
It's that alligator that's trying to eat that snake. Get your ass back in this boat. Oh, I do this all the time.
Yeah, those guys are fearless when it comes to that because they're around it so much.
Yeah, and that's the same thing with Ben at Gatorama. He doesn't fear them. He doesn't,
Yeah,
it's a respect. You got to respect what you're going after. It's the same thing with anything. I mean, I'm not a hunter, but you got to respect your prey.
Right.
No matter what your prey is. I don't care if that mouse trying to get into your sack of corn or whatever.
Hell, a male deer, a buck, if you get in the wrong position,
He'll get you.
he'll freaking get you with them horns, man. They don't care.
No,
They're just wild animals. They don't have any common sense to what they're doing, hurting or what.
or they do, and they don't really. They're just protecting what's theirs.
Right.
And I,
It's like a bear. A bear really doesn't want nothing to do with you, except for the grizzlies. They'll hunt you down over miles.
Yeah, just because they smell fresh meat.
My friend used to go up into the mountains of some state hunting grizzly bear. And he said, you do not want to wound one of them. He says, I don't care if you're 10 miles from your camp, that grizzly bear will hunt you down just like you hunted him down.
I've heard that.
And he says, you go to sleep. He says, you got either your rifle or a high-powered pistol sitting right next to you all night long. He said, there's been nights where they've come into camp after, somebody winged one.
I believe that.
Yeah,
I do. I don't doubt that a bit. Because I've watched enough of the real Alaskan shows that they're scripted still, but
it's true. They will get you.
There's this one family where the lady's got tattoos on her chin. These 3 tattoos. Life below zero. Her and her husband, we really like them a lot because they lived a life. And you can tell when you look at their house, they lived a life.
They're off the grid kind of world.
They are totally off the grid. And I respect. I think his name is Chip. I don't remember her. I don't know. Maybe I got that confused with Foose because I watched car shows so much. I don't know. But it was a good show, and it showed how, he's not allowed to shoot the seals because he's not a native Alaskan and he's not an Inuit, which is basically a Chinese person that an Eskimo that went over there.
Right.
He's not allowed to shoot them, but she is, and their kids are. Because they're her kids and his kids, but they're mostly her kids. So they have special rules, and they can hunt. And I'm telling you. And the same is true with a lot of them. A lot of the native tribes in Canada. Native just means Chinese, and all of the tribes, they have special rights when it comes to hunting because they're the ones that tamed that land. They're the ones that started. Imagine old Cracker Joe Ron walking up there. I'm going to be in Alaska. First winter, my ass is gone. They were building fucking igloos and shit and making things work and living and eating well fat and all that.
You got to be damn hungry to get a big pile of fat.
I don't know, man. You give me a big old steak with fat on it, me and Toni will fight over it.
I do like having a little grizzle on my meat. If you get it too lean, it takes all the flavor out of it.
That big old fat round. I see him. I watch these videos on YouTube, and they're like, so now you just trim the fat off. And I'm like, well, just send that over. Here's my address. You just put it in a box with some dry ice, send it to me. Me and Toni know exactly what to do with that shit.
Yeah, we used to have I think it was a Saturday night dinner at the Moose. It was called Steak by the Ounce. Well, I'd have a whole loin, and I'd be the guy cutting it. And they would tell you, all right, I want a 10-ounce steak. And I got to where I could just about get it right at 10 ounces without measuring her in and just eyeballing it.
Yeah.
And the first time I did it, I went to carve the fat off the end because it was a little bit over the 10 ounces. The guy says, I'll pay the difference. Don't you dare cut that off there. He says, that's where the flavor is.
Remember I was telling you about how we would rebend leaf springs, single leaf springs?
Yeah.
I was the same way. I got so good at it that I didn't even have to test it anymore. I could just look up at the curve and see that it was bent right. And we also had, every time that we bent 4 springs, we put them in a box, and we had to grab, with gloves on, our 10 nuts and 10 screws. My hand knew exactly when there was 10 nuts in there, and I could pick up 5 screws because they're bolts, big bolts. They're like 4-inch long bolts.
You got a feel for it.
And you just knew that was 5. You could tell by the weight and how it felt in your hand. So I've done it. I would guess after you cut that rib or whatever, that steak enough.
Right. You can pretty much
you can say, okay, and it's close enough, close enough for government work.
And my one buddy used to come in and order a 32-ounce steak. I mean, that thing was...
That's 2 pounds, isn't it?
Yeah. That was as thick as a encyclopedia.
A Marine did that math. 2 ounces, 38 pounds.
Wow.
Oh, wait a minute. 2 pounds, 36 ounces.
38 pounds. Oh, my goodness.
Let's see, there you go. I'm not even drinking
He
it.
was another guy that liked to rare. You'd say, how do you want it cooked? He says, singe the edges, the middle will be fine. And I says, it's going to be bloody. He says, the bloodier, the better.
I'm telling you, I think the first time that I cooked Toni steak, I think she was disappointed in me. Because I wanted it done, man. I'm like Trump. I want ketchup on it. I want Heinz 57 on it. I want, if I can get some A1, I put it all on there and mix it together. It used to drive my dad nuts. My dad,
real steak people freak when they see
my dad was
ketchup or steak sauce.
My dad was like,
what the hell are you doing?
My dad was like, yeah, you know, this was way before all that Kobe beef and everything.
Oh yeah, it's crazy money.
And Wagyu. Well, we raised Brangus, which is half Angus and half Brahma, and they were all grass fed. We never fed them grain ever, except for in the winter. And then it was just sweet feed. We had just put sweet feed out because it made them hungry to eat that dead grass.
Mm-hmm.
But they were not. We never put any inoculation, any steroids in them. The only thing we did do is ivermectin for the cows, not for the Wuhan flu. But we would put ivermectin on them, and we would do poron. We wouldn't do the injections. We'd do poron. And I used to joke, because that's the reason I didn't catch COVID, is because as a kid I spilled so much ivermectin on me when I was a kid. But we would squeeze the bottle.
What's it, like an antibiotic type
It's
thing?
an external wormer.
Oh yeah,
You squeeze it, and it would fill up like a shot glass, and then you would pour it on the cow.
Huh.
Well, sometimes you're trying to hold the cow, and it would just spill all over your hands. And I remember asking our vet, was Dr. Hooker up in Ocala, in Micanopy. And I said, is this bad for me? He goes, yeah, it's probably not good for you. You probably want to wear gloves. And we didn't.
Yeah, who the hell wore gloves?
In 70, or even in 85, who ran around with a box of gloves? Hell, I got a box of gloves in all three of my rooms in my house.
I know, it's amazing.
Gloves everywhere. You would think I'm changing colostomy bags or some shit. I mean, it's like,
I wondered what you did with it.
I see these people cutting up a chicken with gloves on. And I'm like, it's your chicken.
Yeah, that's true. But chicken is just so greasy.
I don't like
slimy,
it. Yeah, but I don't.
My wife wears them because she doesn't like all that on her hands. And you can wash your hands 4 times with soap and water, and they still feel greasy after you've dealt with enough chicken.
You want to know what I saw one time you don't want to know.
You open the can, now you got to fucking empty it.
I'll tell you what I saw. Don't look behind you. I'll tell you what I saw. I had it was a weekend, and I had to watch the inmates in the kitchen at the prison in Moorhaven, right? And there's always a sign in the bathroom that says "wash your hands."
Right.
Well, homeboy runs into the bathroom, runs out, and he's wiping his hands with a paper towel, but his hands got gloves on. I said, what the fuck? He goes, I wash my hands. I said, get them goddamn gloves off, man. You know,
that's like I used to work with a guy in the grill. He'd put one glove on because everybody's bitching about him with his dick infested hands.
Oh, I'd have slapped him for that.
He'd hold your bottom bun with the glove. He'd put everything else on top. He'd reach right into the pickle bin and take pickles out with his bare hand. And then he'd take, when he put it all on there, and squish it down with his bare hand. And I'd look at him and I go, coincidentally, his name was Ron.
That's great.
Ron, what in the fuck is wrong with you? I says, you need to wear the gloves. People watch us and they're getting pissy about this because everybody's scared of all these fucking germs now. Well, I says, you got to put 2 gloves.
I'll tell you this much.
Don't pick your nose with a glove on and say your hands are clean.
Well, I try not to wear gloves, but I'll wash my hands.
I can't stand wearing gloves.
But not long ago, well, it was a pretty good while ago, I didn't really know Tim that well, but I guess Wednesday or Thursday, it seemed like, Tim would cook steaks out on his grill. And Toni loves a well-grilled steak, and I do not. I can smoke meat all day long. I can make you the best smoked turkeys, hams, chickens, whatever you want. I can do it. So one night we went and bought steaks for me and Tim and Toni and his, all 4 of us, with potatoes and sides and everything. And I said, Tim, cook these steaks. They were cooked perfect, and I didn't give a shit if he had gloves on or not.
I didn't touch it.
I didn't care if you did. I just figure wash your hands, dude. I mean, how hard is it to?
No, if nothing else, dump a beer on them. That'll sterilize anything.
I watch well, what I drink will. I watch people on these videos. They'll cut up this chicken, all this chicken, and then start to show you how to fry it properly. And then they go on that rag that's on their oven
Right. Wipe
their hands with it and go on. And you know, Friday, that was like on a Tuesday. That's the same rag that's there when they do the video on Friday. And I'm going, there's microbes doing shit in there that the blue cheese doesn't even have going on. There's some crazy shit going on in there.
Yeah, I've noticed that with cooks a lot of times. They have that towel, like a lot of them will throw
Over
it over
their
their
shoulder?
shoulder. And they, anytime they touch something, they just wipe their hand.
Yeah,
on it.
and not only that, on their apron, they'll be
And
doing
now
chicken.
You break a sweat. What do you do with that rag?
Wipe it on
you
your
wipe
face.
your face, then you wipe your hand on it.
I've seen them in nice restaurants. They'll cut up the chicken or not cut up meat or whatever, and then just kind of wipe their hands on their little part of their apron, that one little flat part, and then they'll go over and cut up the fish and then wipe that on there. And I'm thinking, man, you got all kinds of cross contamination there.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not a
We
big.
used to have to throw a lot of stuff away because at the we had like a cooler bar type of thing, like a buffet setup, so you could put your own condiments on your hamburger on the Sunday cookout days.
Mhm.
And at the end of every Sunday, we'd have to throw all that away because people were taking the fork out of the mayonnaise and putting it into the pickles. And so we never, towards the end of the day, they were almost on empty. We were getting good at it. We weren't throwing a lot away.
Right. Well, then you would just put them in. I would have put them in pans. You can open our refrigerator and there's like the Ron pickles and the Toni pickles. Toni gets hers out with a fork, all proper. I'm like reaching in there to the bottom, then I'll take a drink out of it, put it down there at the bottom.
It's like the carton of milk. Who hasn't taken a carton of milk and picked it up?
I won't do it, dude. I don't drink out of the milk.
Ever?
No, I don't. I don't know that I ever have. It disgusts me. Toni bought chocolate milk a couple of months ago, and I looked over and she was drinking it out of the jug. And then she put it back in there, and I'm like, well, that's it. She's like,
So
what?
you want some chocolate
I'm
milk?
not drinking that shit no more. She goes, what? I've been married to you for all these years. I'm like, it ain't got nothing to do with you.
You'll kiss me on the lips, but you won't
Jesus
drink
can
after
come
me.
down here and drink out of any milk at all. I don't like milk because I know how it's made. Well, I know how it's produced. I know how it's clean. I don't.
How about a toothbrush? Will you use your wife's toothbrush?
Yeah, I would. Yeah, sure I would.
I do too. I don't know why.
I
if
would.
I mix them up and grab
No, would my
them,
wife use
I
my
don't care.
toothbrush? No. Would I use her shit?
I don't know why, but it doesn't bother me.
I love her with everything in me. I just ain't gonna drink milk after. I don't know. There's something about there's a film. Milk has a film. If you shake it up, it takes it a while for it to go to the bottom.
Right.
You know?
That's called cream.
Yeah, I don't care what it's called. I ain't drinking it after nobody else. And
Oh, you've been on a cow farm. You know the cream rises all to the top of those.
I know.
That's some good drinking there.
All right, you know what's in cow milk, real cow milk. You said you've been around dairy farms.
Yeah.
You know,
Milk's in milk.
milk is not the you know, there's plus and all that shit.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, there's all kinds
All
of
kinds
stuff.
of bodily fluids get in there.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in milk that you don't want to be in milk. That's why all these people are screaming that you should drink more raw milk. I ain't drinking raw milk. I don't
Soy
give a
milk.
fuck.
Drink soy milk.
I ain't drinking that
Almond
either.
milk.
I have had raw milk. I've had milk straight out of the cow. I've had milk straight out of the goat, and it tastes fine.
I got there's 4 strains of typhoid fever. I got all 4 when I was a kid. I was working on a dairy
That
farm.
explains a lot. Really.
Yeah, we were drinking the raw milk for breakfast on our Cheerios, and it was either that or swimming in this old stagnant pond. The doctor said it could have been either one, but he blamed the milk.
I wouldn't.
I almost died from that shit.
Well,
Typhoid's a bad thing.
yeah, I didn't know you could get that from milk. I know that.
Yeah, it's just a bacteria.
Yeah, and you know they always talk about Louis Pasteur, who did pasteurization or
Right.
pasteurization.
He was not the first.
Yeah, he was.
There was somebody else that did it.
Oh,
too.
maybe not. I mean, maybe. I
Just
don't know.
like the light bulb.
Not.
They did
Tesla.
that to
Tesla
Edison.
did. Nope. Tesla did the light. Tesla did everything first, and then Edison
just
stole it
ask him.
from him. Yeah. No, Tesla was good, man. I'm a big Tesla fan. I think that they fucked Tesla. If they would have just shut up and let Tesla do what Tesla wanted, we would all be living off of no electric wires and no electric bills. all.
That'd be nice.
That's exactly what he was doing, but they stopped. The medicine stopped him from that.
That $1.50 a month I'd spend on electric could have been nice to.
Man, you're talking about, well, we could have we wouldn't have beer for breakfast if we didn't have electric bills. We would have
steak and beer for breakfast.
and it'd probably last all day.
Not the beer. We'd have to go get more.
Yeah,
or we just get our own beer truck delivered.
But if you imagine if they'd have used Tesla's program that just shot the electric over, which wasn't mad science, it was fact, and he proved that it worked. We wouldn't imagine how much running the grocery stores wouldn't have the high electric bill cost. I mean, imagine how much everything would cost us less. I mean, almost nothing.
Just the Moose Lodge pays $2,500 a month for electric.
When I ran that R&R billiards, I'm telling you,
electric bill, I'd kill you there.
Oh my God! Because you got you had the walk-in freezer or the walk-in refrigerator to keep the kegs cool. We didn't have a liquor license, only a beer and wine license, and we did. Like what we did was we bought
bring your own bottle, put your name on it, and pay me per shot.
That's pretty much, but that was illegal. But we did that too. But what we did was we would get all the cheap ass wines that was on sale, and you could always catch them on sale. And we'd buy a bunch of Sprite, and we would just say, "Here you go, ladies. Here's your spritzer." Before the spritzers became popular now,
before they were a thing.
Yeah, we were just pouring them in there, going here. We'd get Bartles and James and make a 7-Up with them and give them to the girls and throw a shot of vodka in there, make them think they were having something nice. And they were like, "This is really good." I'm like, "Just drink it. You'll be all right. Just keep your wits about you. Only drink
your
one or
game
two."
Will get better.
Yeah, really. If you just, as long as you got money to pay for that pool table.
Yeah. By the way, you want to start betting after this fourth ring?
I see some girls at the pool table that would whip your ass good too, though.
Oh yeah, there's some really good pool players. I've
seen some crazy things in this world.
My wife's actually a pretty fair pool player.
That doesn't surprise me. She was a CB.
Well, yeah.
I mean,
they hung out, drank, got laid.
Yeah.
And played pool.
Yeah, CBs are a different
and
breed.
Occasionally built a street.
There's there's the Navy, and then there's the CBs. There's the Navy divers. You've got, I don't count SEALs. SEALs are just Marines that didn't have the guts to go into the Marine Corps.
They're a special group.
Yeah, they were just they wanted to be Marines, but they were afraid of the boot camp.
And they're also treated
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, now we've offended them.
That's right. And I've got friends that are SEALs that are coming down like, "You think I don't know how to get to fucking Lake Placid, homeboy?" Yeah.
It's like, I show you what a SEAL's all about, bitch.
Yeah, they're like 10 years younger than me at this point, in better shape.
There was this movie where it was all about these rescue guys that would jump out of helicopters in the middle of the ocean to save people that, like, their boat sank or whatever.
Rescue swimmers in the Coast Guard. Yeah.
They got to be in some fucking good shape.
Yeah, there's
Well, lo and behold, that summer, my buddy Lenny, they have big 4th of July picnics over at the cabins and stuff, and this whole family takes up
at
their
the cabins
compound.
Or cabins? Because there are mountains called cabins.
Cabins. Right at the end of our lake.
Mm.
Well, they got these big ass picnics, and it was basically anybody you knew was more than welcome. Well, I happened to be sitting there talking about that movie because I had just watched it during the day or the evening before, I can't remember. And lo and behold, his niece is married to one of those guys.
Wow. Oh, you told me that.
And we're sitting there shooting the shit, and they knew exactly the movie I was talking about. And he goes, that's a pretty accurate movie.
Yeah.
He says, that's pretty much how it is. And I says, isn't that like fucking dangerous? And he goes,
yeah.
Oh, yeah. He says, we lose people. He says,
all the time. Not all the time.
I says, you got to be one hell of a strong swimmer. He says, actually, I'm not that great a swimmer. He says, it's just the way you prepare yourself for it, the team you have with you, you all work together, like you're saying.
Yeah.
It's all a team effort. It's no I in team.
Yeah, there's no.
And it's amazing how they all jump into the most treacherous waves, 12-foot, 15-foot waves, and swim them like they're just hanging out in the pool at the neighbors.
Well, I'll tell you, we went through SAR school, which was Search and Rescue Swimmer School. And I never understood it. But they had us getting up. And I still got my shorts. Toni calls them my catch me, fuck me shorts. Because they're shorts. And we would put on our special little blue shirt, and we would run. And dude, we would run. And you need to understand, I don't run.
You did then.
I did then. But this was when I was still in the Navy, because this was how I could get out of going on to a ship. Go to do every class you can do.
That's what Jody always said. Volunteer for
Volunteer.
everything.
And the Navy acronym stands for NAVY. Never again volunteer yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But while you're there, volunteer for everything. If you're on if you get seasick like me,
She even did the color guard thing.
Absolutely.
Just to stay out of
anything,
and all
anything.
that
I don't want to go.
Shit.
I do not want to go. Right. I don't want to go to the kitchen. I don't want to go anywhere. But I was rated. So, I mean, I had a rate when I went in. I was an operations specialist, which is operation intelligence. And I did that.
Contradicting in terms.
It is a contradiction in terms. Trust me, because I did it. You know, I did learn how to write backwards really well. Really, really, really well.
Oh, that's a great story. How you told me you had to learn to write backwards because the guy was on the other side of the glass wall.
Yeah.
And you had to send information to him.
Yeah.
So you'd write it backwards on the glass so he could read it forward.
Right. The captain of the ship sits right in front of we called them bogey boards. The captain, and it was a big round. Here I'm using my hands and no one can see me. It was basically the radar that I'm reading on my right-hand side. And I would just yell out contact bearing, and then we would name the contact. And I would put it like a whatever.
BR 549.
Yeah, whatever. 180 degrees or 180, because you can't say, it's weird. But I had to write everything backwards, even the name. Like if I wrote, it would be Mitt. If I wrote your name instead of Tim, it would be Mitt. Everything would be. Everything is backwards because
it's like looking in a mirror. Because
if you stood in front of the board and wrote it, he couldn't see everything. Your body would be blocking things that he needed to see, so you walked behind it, or you stood behind it and wrote everything backwards.
Huh.
I could do that. What I couldn't do was ship's movement because I threw up. I couldn't do ship's movement. Is there another one of these that I can have or no?
Yes, there is.
It was the ship's movement that I don't want to run you out. It was the ship's movement that made me sick.
I know where they make more.
I know you do. But I loved it. I loved the
crack in the way.
Oh, okay. I love the structure of the military because without it, I wouldn't know anything, and I still don't.
I wasn't even going there.
But
no, you can run that computer. I
can run the shit out of a computer.
I can run with a computer.
And hey,
right after I steal it, I can run like there's nobody's been there. As long as I don't wear them baggy pants.
I have no.
You know what they call those? Anti-theft pants.
Yeah.
You can't hold your pants up and hold the colored TV on your shoulder at the same time.
In prison, we said that we called that I'm single.
And you always will be.
In prison, we call that the I'm single pants because that told the predator in the group that you were open. Yeah.
I always heard it was done to signify that you were someone's bitch.
Oh yeah, maybe.
Probably both.
That doesn't make sense unless they had the guy's name tattooed to the ass.
Well, yeah, they probably did. After
I'm telling you, man, you got dudes with tits in prison because now with Biden, I don't know. Well, Florida is Florida, but if you come to prison with a swinging dick, I don't care how nice your tits are or what, you're going to the men's prison. And guess what? Who the most popular person in prison is? And guess who gets it? The biggest guy in prison gets it.
Whoever's tough enough not to get his ass kicked.
I had this lady that worked in laundry, and she called me in there one day, and she said, "We have a girl here." I said, "No, because I was just working intake. We didn't get no girl." She said, "I'm telling you, the warden said she's locked in solitary, so nobody will get her, but they sent her here by mistake." I said, "No, because we read the records. Everybody comes in.
Dude dressed like
yeah, well, no, I'm just figuring that she's dingy."
Right.
So she's like, "Well, I don't know what to do, but
put her in the dryer, turn it on."
I said, "Well, what does it matter to you? You know, you're just going to put them in clothes or whatever." So finally, she wants to see her. So I'll walk her down. I say, "Okay, I just saw the lady that you're talking about. They let her out of solitary. She's over there." No. I said she's over there by classifications, about to get classified. Come follow me real quick before she goes in. She comes back. She goes, "Oh my God, it is a woman." I said, "It's got a dick." I said, for God's sakes, Maggie, it's got a dick. It's probably the size of a fucking Mississippi black snake. Are you kidding me?
Dragging it around like
Well,
a
I'm like,
freaking garden
yeah.
hose.
And there was a ex-professional football player that was locked up there at Moorhaven, and because he had the biggest commissary money, that was her man. And that's when I learned that if you have gay sex in prison and you're black, it's not gay, it's survival sex.
Oh, wow. There you go.
Survival sex is
Justification.
and apparently their wives are fine with it.
Well, you know, a need's a need.
Not, hey, you know what, man?
If you gotta have it, you know.
I'll tell you how many times I've been to the field and never did anybody in the field. You know, you get horny, you know. Your daddy taught you to spit in your hand and have at it in the backwoods and nobody was looking at you.
That's right. It's yours. You wash it as fast as you like.
Yeah, that's right.
I grew it from a pup. God damn it, it's mine.
That's right. Just bumping the tip. Just bumping the tip.
Yeah, making sure it's nice and clean and shiny.
But, you know, it's like that whole thing they say about you got some people that say, I don't want to engage in the military. Well, then we wouldn't even have a Navy or an Air Force. I mean,
In the Navy.
I think it's the funniest thing. Big old macho Trump's doing the YMCA thing. You know,
Yeah,
that song is as gay as it comes, dude.
without.
I mean, it's a fun song, and
It caught on.
yeah, and I love all these people say, I don't want Trump to play my song. Bitch, nobody listened to your song in 35 years. Shut up and take the money.
Yeah, be glad somebody noticed it.
Jesus Christ, these kids didn't know that song. Now they're dancing to it. There's a million TikTok videos of people dancing that Trump dance to it, to that song. I mean, now all of a sudden you're relevant again. Shut up and put your band back together. Go
Take your fucking money and run,
go get a guy with a fucking headdress on and go get your little gay cop with his gay cop mustache. You know, it was. Did you ever Reno 911? Have you ever seen it?
Yeah, that one guy wears a little shorty
You want him
shirt.
with the gay cop mustache? You
Yeah.
can always tell, man. You know the reason that military guys have those gay cop mustaches?
Why?
Because the gas mask has to fit over it.
Oh, yeah.
Because if it doesn't create a seal, same way with the cops, if it doesn't create a seal.
Yeah, firemen
So-
rarely you'll see it with a beard or.
All right,
facial
so
hair.
now let's talk policy. If you're a black guy, you might can grow. Look, I've been out since 2000. I've been out for a long time. So you have to keep a close shave because your gas mask has to fit over. But if you're black, you can get this thing the Navy calls a shaving chit, which means, well, because you get bumps when you shave, and a lot of black guys do, then you don't have to shave. So you don't have to have a clean shave. You've got a reason. So I guess they don't really give a shit if the black guys get gassed or not.
Well, you know.
Or the black guy doesn't give a shit. I mean, that's what I would be thinking. I'd be like, well, if it doesn't matter to you,
Like, well, fuck it.
I mean, not everybody pays attention to the Geneva Convention. Some people don't mind using gas, like Syria,
Right?
or anybody. Oh shit! Excuse me. Did you know a house burned down here the other day?
Really?
Yeah. I don't have the pictures of it, but yeah.
Another.
Another?
Well, yeah, it was what, 2-3 weeks ago. There was a big one over on Lake June that burned.
I don't know about
$1
that.
million house cooked.
That might have been that Jesus lightning you talk about.
Yeah. Jewish lightning.
No, Jesus lightning.
Well, they call it Jewish lightning
Oh,
because they collect the
I
insurance.
know it, but you have almost every friend I got on here are lawyers, and they're almost all Jewish. So let's just not pick on the Jewish people.
Well, Archie Bunker had his 3 favorite lawyers, Rabinowitz, and Rabinowitz. He always called them the 3 Jews. They was okay on TV.
One of my I can't even get in it, but it's I'm not gonna a lot of people that I talk to think that Jewish people are the conspiracyist people that did it, and they caused all of this stuff to the world, and they got all the money and all this. I don't
think Trump's Jewish. He's got lots of money.
know, but his daughter's Jewish, which is weird.
Well, that's just a religion. You can become a Jew if you're a black guy. It doesn't make you Jewish.
Dear sir, most Jews in the world are black guys.
Oh, really?
Most Jews are from Ethiopia. There is almost every black person in Ethiopia is Jewish.
Learned something new today.
More blacks, skin color blacks are Jewish than there are not white, not black people.
Huh.
So yeah, that's a big. People don't want to tell you that.
Do we have announcements to read? Right here.
No, yeah, no. I heard your phone. Was that your phone or mine?
Mine.
Hold on.
My camera alerting me.
No, Tony wanted me to read these news, but they're all political.
No, we don't.
And I don't. I mean, typically we'll do whatever Tony tells us to, but
Yeah, we can be rebellious.
But here are a few events our producer researched for you that you might want to consider attending to in our area. That one's what?
Yesterday was the beginning of the end of my pleasantries of Christmas. I heard my first effing Christmas song on the radio yesterday. You know what happens when I hear that? Immediately change the station.
Oh man,
I hate Christmas music.
You can't mean that.
Jingle Bell Rock is the only one I even come close to liking.
You can't even mean that.
Oh, I can't stand it because they play it from like October to New Year's.
No, there's some great. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, I want to hear Frosty the Snowman one more fucking time.
Well, you need Frosty. Everybody needs some Frosty.
They even made a stupid movie out of the Frosty the Snowman comes to life, and it's like this.
Is that the one from the 50s or whatever?
No, this is a brand new one. He becomes some big stud muffin guy that all the women are chasing, and he's a snowman.
Oh, that's insane there,
That's
though.
just dumbest. And you talk about running out of things to make movies.
Well, I mean, they did that a long time ago. But I mean, do you believe that people actually watch Elf? For God's sakes.
Oh yeah, religiously every Christmas.
I mean, if you want to watch a Christmas movie, you watch Die Hard.
Die Hard. That's a man's movie.
You watch, and it's romance.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's chasing after.
He saves her Rolex for God's sakes.
Yeah.
I mean, if it wasn't for her watch, the whole state of whatever that state was, California, whatever,
it blown up.
It could have blown up. But I can't believe that you would say something like that.
I hate Christmas.
About Christmas music. It just hurts my soul.
I'm not a Christmas guy anymore.
Well,
when I had kids, I liked it.
It's because you're not listening to the right Christmas music, man.
And I don't plan on it.
I know, it's hard. The Christmas music, not the other stuff. Where the hell did that go?
It's just that they overrun you with it.
Yeah, they do.
If they just shot you one here and there, it wouldn't be so bad.
Well.
But this is like the week of Christmas on 105.7, all they play is Christmas.
Isn't that the Delilah station?
Yeah, she's a evening, but I don't listen to radio news.
Where they do the Delilah.
I can't stand her. I don't know how she became so popular because I just think she's terrible.
No, I mean, I think she's terrible too, but where the hell did that go? I think she's terrible too, but that doesn't make her a bad person.
No, I didn't say she's her person. I just don't like her on the radio.
Well,
I don't like women DJs. I don't know why.
I don't mind women DJs. What I don't like is women singers.
I don't mind a woman singer, but I don't care for a woman DJ.
I'll tell you why. See, this is.
I like women on the news because they dress well.
I like women DJs because everyone I ever met was kind of big. And I've got this thing.
That's the best thing with radio. Nobody knows what you look like.
That's why I got this thing. I do love a big girl, and I just do. But I can't believe.
Well, you know what they say. There's an ass for every seat.
Yeah. Well, what's this?
Oh, you can.
Drunk and Dad got drunk at our Christmas party. We were drinking champagne punch and homemade eggnog. Little sister brought her new boyfriend. He was a man. Mexican. We didn't know what to think of him till he sang Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad. Brother Ken brought his kids with him, the 3 from his first wife Lynn, and the 2 identical twins from his second wife Marinelle. Of course he brought his new wife Kay, who talks all about AA, chain smoking while the stereo plays Noel, Noel, the first Noel. Caught the turkey, turned the ball game on, mixed margaritas when the eggnog's gone. Send somebody to the quick pack store, we need some ice and an extension cord, a can of bean dip and some diet rides, a box of tampons, some Marlboro Lights. Hallelujah, everybody say cheese. Merry Christmas from the family. Fran and Rita drove from Harlingen. Remember how I'm kin to them, but when they tried to plug their motor home in, they blew our Christmas lights. Cousin David knew just what went wrong, so we all waited out on our front lawn. He threw a breaker and the lights came on, and we sang Silent Night, oh Silent Night. Turkey, turn the ball game on, make Bloody Marys, cause we all want one. Send somebody to the stop and go, we need some celery and a can of fake snow, a bag of lemons and some diet Sprites, a box of tampons, some Salem Lights. Hallelujah, everybody say cheese. Merry Christmas from the family. Feliz Navidad.
Yeah.
That is the one side dish that goes with any time of year.
I like,
It's
macaroni
good
and
at a
cheese.
summer picnic. It's good at Christmas. It's good at Thanksgiving. You can have it on your fucking birthday
My
in lieu of a cake.
my brother-in-law wouldn't eat birds. He didn't eat chicken, turkey, nothing, because he raised them and he knew that they eat each other.
Yeah, they're nasty.
I guess he eats bacon. I guess he didn't remember that pigs eat each other, but we didn't grow up on pig farms. So what he did was, Mama would make him.
Yeah, you want to get rid of a body, you throw it in a pig farm.
I'm telling you,
They'll eat the stupid fillings and all.
or crab trap. But the crabs won't eat the bones. The Mama would make him all these different kinds of cheeses, macaroni, and she actually baked it. Us kids and shit.
Yeah.
We got crap back in the days when it was powder.
Yeah, the 25-cent box.
Yeah.
Feed a family of 9 for a week.
Yeah, that's what we got. But when it was Thanksgiving, she made Hal this special stuff, and my mother hated him, so she probably poisoned it. That's why we never got that. She was like, "No, this is for Hal and your Uncle David." She wasn't
We love them.
She wasn't a big fan of Uncle David yet. But she, I had one uncle that really had a thing for rice and gravy. So they always came to our house because it was a main house. They always came to our house.
Yeah, well, you were the leader of the compound. Your
Right.
dad.
So every holiday or everything that we wanted a family reunion, Dad would just light a bonfire, and then it would be a family reunion.
There you go.
or dating class.
2 cases of beer, you can date your cousin.
Shit,
As long as you stay on the compound, it's okay.
Half of their daddies was making moonshine back there. So.
Right. After enough moonshine, your cousin started to look
My
good.
family was the cousin Eddie from Christmas Vacation.
Yeah, I love when he drained that freaking septic into the sewer, and the old man goes out there with a cigar and
Blows it up. That's funny as shit.
That's one.
You got to
Christmas
keep them
movie.
drained. You got to keep them drained, Clark.
Yeah.
That was funny.
So I go, by the way, we'll be staying in your driveway for the next 3 months. We
I
lost
had-
the house.
I had the biggest trouble when we first got the motorhome because you got to run this hose out. And look, man, I'm funny about shit I touch, right? So I probably have 15 things of gloves,